gas prices are rising again. How many times have we said that on this show?
Constantly.
Yeah, I think so. There's a new national average. It was announced by AAA this morning, $3.92 a gallon. That's up a penny from yesterday. And some analysts are predicting that we could see $5 a gallon gas by summertime. John Hofmeister is the former president of Shell Oil Company. He's the founder and CEO of Citizens for Affordable Energy, and he joins us this morning. Nice to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us. So, by my calculations, gas has gone up 21 cents over the last month, and we know that commodities traders really are helping set these prices, but people also talk about tensions with Iran as what's driving the gas prices up. But really, if you look over that last month, why up 21 cents? There really hasn't been something that's changed in that past month alone.
Well, it can jump around on any number of factors, Soledad, but the underlying cause is the world is tight on supply. We've seen this coming for years and years. In fact, in 2007, I warned candidate Obama that if he didn't do something immediately in his first term to dramatically increase the amount of hydrocarbons we were producing in this country, he would face incredibly high gas prices when he ran for re-election in 2012. And he did not do anything. In fact, we actually went the other way. We stopped a number of things from happening in producing hydrocarbons. But it's not just oil that we need. We also need the natural gas. Fortunately, that's coming through all private lands in states where the federal government has no role. But we need to figure out how to turn natural gas into transportation fuels. That would make a great big difference in the way in which American motorists are no longer dependent upon OPEC and the cartel price-fixing mechanism of OPEC.
So there's another theory that says a way to make motorists not dependent would be to come up with alternative sort of options when it comes to fuel, that you maybe have a two-tiered approach, right? One, while you continue to have people using natural gas and oil, you also say we need to think of other ways to get energy because this is long-term not going to be possible. I thought that since February of 2009 that U.S. oil production was up. The notes I have say 15%. And at that same exact time, you have gas, the price of oil going up, or gas going up from $2.07 to $3.58. So why is the increased production up 15% not leading to a decrease in that gas price?
Well, the 15% on the U.S. base is a very small number. So it's several 100,000 barrels a day, not millions, when in fact the world needs millions. So China has gone from 5 million barrels in 2005 to 10 this year, and they will be at 15 million barrels demand by 2015. Those are millions and millions of new barrels that have to be produced. On top of that, the industry has to make up for annual declines. Oil declines about 6 to 8% per year in existing wells. So on a worldwide basis, that's about 7 million barrels a year just to replace the declines over the existing period, plus the new demands from China or India. If the U.S. is only producing a few 100,000 barrels a day, it's a drop in a bucket, basically, in terms of what we need. So what the president hasn't done, but not just this president, the last 7 before him and the last 20 Congresses have really let the American people down by not having any kind of domestic energy plan that would take care of this country and its economy and its citizens over a sustained period of time. That's why I argue that we can't drill our way out of this. I agree with the president, but we could increase drilling by 30 or 40%.
So let's get you rolling.
John, Roland Martin here.
Yes.
If gasoline goes to $5, we saw it last time under President Bush, that when it gets high, people all of a sudden change their attitudes. Isn't that also part of the deal? The consumers have to change the attitudes and force a different view when it comes to what you're talking about. The consumers have to demand it.
Consumers absolutely have to demand solutions. But that we live in a country that has more energy than we'll ever use in our history. And so what we need is a plan to create that energy, turn it into what we can use as power. And that's where we haven't had a plan. And we're not stupid, but we're playing out politics in energy, which is stupid. The politics of energy makes no sense whatsoever. And whether it's a Republican or a Democratic administration, they've all failed the American people in coming to grips with this problem. So I founded Citizens for Affordable Energy, Roland, to do just what you're talking about, to get citizens activated in a way that puts pressure on the political leadership to say, fix this problem once and for all. We have the energy, let's go use it, and let's get off OPEC, because who needs OPEC? We have all the energy we need. Now, it'll take 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but that's what we need to do.
John Hofmeister is a founder and chief executive of Citizens for Affordable Energy. He's also the former president of Shell Oil Company. Nice to have you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
That's the problem right there. We don't like to wait for it. 20, 30 years, people say, no, we don't want to wait.